Hello, everyone. I am Renee Cobb, and welcome to Overtones Live.
Water is 100 proof. Raise the barn and raise the roof. Horsepower of a different breed, built for comfort and for speed. And bluegrass don't need cutting. Mountain high and valley low, God beside me, here I go. With all the gold and undue spare, summer wind and bluegrass don't need cutting. Oh, the sun shines bright in the green rolling hills of Alberta, and you're closer to heaven than any other place upon this earth.
Welcome, everyone. You are listening to a Singing Between the Lines edition of Overtones Live, and this week we are on the road coming to you from Radio Lex Studio in Lexington, Kentucky's Gray Line Station.
All God's people say amen.
Radio Lex's mission is to provide a mass media platform to amplify underrepresented local voices and promote an equitable and inclusive community. It takes a great community to make great community radio. Radio Lex is a place where over 160 volunteers create original, hyper-local programming 24/7 in English on WLXU 93.9 FM and in Spanish on WLXL 95.7 FM. And today, we are bringing you one of those hyper-local bands with Overtones Live. I am Renee Collins Cobb, and I'm the host, and today we welcome you to one of our special Singing Between the Lines edition shows, where we welcome a guest to the studio and we feature an album release from that artist. Today we are very excited to welcome Them Lasses in their first appearance on Overtones Live. Them Lasses is a trio of pickin', singing, and songwriting women spreading joy through harmonies and sunflowers. I like that. And from lighthearted and silly to very soulful and reflective, Them Lasses puts on a dynamic and entertaining show that blends the songs, voices, and vibes of its three members. Fun and folksy to the core, Them Lasses are also known to rock out and get funky with their backing band, the Old Dogs, and are sure to touch your heart, get your feet stomping, and ignite your love for life's simple joys. And Them Lasses and the Old Dogs has just released a full-length self-titled album. So ladies, welcome to Overtones Live.
Oh, thank you so much.
We're going to kick this show right off with a cut from the album Them Lasses and the Old Dogs with Old Dog.
He's scratching at the door, but he don't live here no more. That old dog walks inside my house. He howls, he barks, and I ain't looking for no fight. Yes, that old dog walks inside my house. Well, he comes to me and tells me that he's changed his ways. I've let him in once or twice, but not today.
Lasses and Old Dogs with a Renee favorite, Old Dog. And you all have a great video that accompanies this song. Tell us a little bit about where our listeners can find that video and how you went about filming it. Very unique and very enjoyable.
Oh gosh, there's so much that actually went into that video that wasn't originally going to be there. But first and foremost, you can find us on YouTube. It's under Them Lasses. Abby, do you want to spell it for the folks?
All right, it's THEMLASSES.
Yeah, some people think it's a lot of other words, but it's not. It's Them Lasses. And you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're not super active there, but we're there. And we filmed that actually at the peak of our sunflowers. Erin, do you want to touch on the sunflower portion just a little bit?
We, as you heard, Them Lasses are spreading joy through harmony and sunflowers. This year we had an actual sunflower field. We grew maybe acres. We grew acres of sunflowers, and we had a sunflower concert and experience, and it was really great. But we just happened to have it at the time that we were doing our Old Dog video, so it became an integral part of that video.
Yeah, so basically it was at the peak of the sunflowers, and then we, one of our really dear friends, Lisa, she came and did photos and stuff, but yeah, the whole thing was just to kind of intro our guys, and we didn't actually realize at the time that they were such hams, but they did great.
Oh, they did great. I will say I was a bit shocked myself, right?
Oh my gosh, all of
from
them.
knowing them from so many years, and to see how they just really put their whole body and their whole self into this. It was really refreshing.
It's super hard to be recorded in general.
Oh, yes.
And they just, oh my gosh.
And then
all
you
three
have
of
the
them love
acting
it.
part, right?
Yeah.
And that's always kind of awkward for some people, right?
You know what? I will say they're hams, but only one of them took good direction. The other ones kept wandering away like old dogs the whole time. And I'd be like, no, everyone
come
come
back.
back. And it was a lot harder than the other 3 videos we had done as just a trio, where we're listening and we're doing our things. And with the old dogs, it was a little bit more like chaotic.
Yeah,
But Brittany had the vision.
I think we eventually got there. It's funny that they're dogs because it was herding cats.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Overall, I wanted it to be bright, cheery, and the naughty old dogs trying to get in your house. So that's what the video is about.
Well, it's fantastic. And again, where can our listeners find that video?
That's on YouTube, and we actually have one of our goals is for this album, we want a visual representation. We want to invite you to subscribe
To our YouTube channel.
Excellent. That's great. I want to start off with some introductions and give me a little bit of background about where you all are from and where your love of music came from in your life. And Abby, let's start over here with you.
All right. I'm the quiet one, so I see you calling me out.
It's like the one that sits in the back of the classroom, right?
That's me. But yeah, I've always loved music. I grew up listening to like my aunt play the banjo and sing, and then she grew up with Erin's partner, who kind of introduced all of us in the, like, long story short.
Colin Wallace.
Yeah, Colin Wallace. He's one of our old dogs. So him and my aunt grew up together. So I grew up listening to them playing music, and my parents always like exposed us to a lot of music, took us to a lot of bluegrass festivals, and so my love started like really, really young. And I started playing the piano at 7 years old. So I'm classically trained on the piano. And I played the piano for a long time. I need to get back into it, to be honest. But I was homeschooled, and my dad had a rule growing up that we had a 30-minute lunch break in the middle of the day, and the lunch break could be as long as we wanted it to be, as long as we were playing an instrument. So I hated school, so I learned to play a lot of instruments. We did still have to come back after the break and, like, finish our school for the day, but I learned a lot of instruments and just kind of kept going after that. I got into open mics when I was like 16. Just kept playing.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you. Brittany, how about you next?
Okay, well, I've definitely have loved music my whole life, and it's so interesting. I am originally from Eastern Kentucky, and like there, I feel like there are a lot of great artists, but they're far and fewer between, and maybe it's because it's so rural. And you come here, and then there's so many people who are so good. So I moved here whenever I was early 20s, and I quickly became friends with like a lot of musicians. At the time, I didn't even play. I just was lucky enough to hang out and like listen to them and enjoy their music. And I didn't really learn to play until I was nearly 30. So I didn't write my first song until I was like 29. And yeah, I always was like more of, I would consider myself more of a visual artist. And I didn't think that I had a song in me, but I did, and it's nice. So yeah, long time. If I had to say, like, anybody I really enjoyed, me and my dad listened to John Prine growing up a whole lot. Aww. So I like humor in songwriting. Is something I really appreciate.
I love these stories so much. And Brittany, I met you, I believe, at the Twisted Cork at one of our open mics a long time ago.
That's whenever I first started.
Yeah, and she had that ukulele up on stage, and I just immediately fell in love. And you have a beautiful voice.
Thank you so much.
I'm so glad you're here with us today. Erin, what's your story?
Hello. I'm Erin Sliney, and I grew up in Bourbon County, Paris, Kentucky. And I was in band, and I did a lot of choir. So I played French horn, and I sang a lot. But then my dad was always like, you can't play French horn around the campfire. So he was kind of always encouraging me to do guitar. And later, it was kind of after I got out of college, really, where I developed a nice relationship with my guitar, started to learn songs so that I could sing them. I dabbled a little bit before, but never seriously. And then I traveled around for a long time. I was teaching in environmental schools, and I was a hiking guide, and it was just a guitar's kind of like a travel companion. And it wasn't until my late 20s that I started writing songs for real. Like, I had dabbled again, but it was kind of like, I feel like I finally have a story to tell, and I have something to share. And so I recorded and released my debut album, Truckee to Kentucky, which is the story of my life and going between Kentucky and California, where I spent a lot of time and where I was born. And ever since then, I've always loved being on stage. I did theater, I always loved that. But it really kind of, after Truckee to Kentucky, and I started playing out a lot more, it's just kind of it's a deep love of mine.
Well, we got some great stories in the studio today, don't we? So thank you all so much again for being here. I'm so appreciative of this. We're going to hear one live in the studio right now, and this one is called First Dip. And what can you all tell us about this song?
Well, this song I wrote, it was the first song that I wrote where I actually thought about me not singing all the verses. So I specifically wrote it in mind of Abby taking the second verse. Your line talks about her mom living, like, really close, because her mom does live, like, 2 minutes as the crow flies. And then Erin has a unique knack for napping wherever she wants. But creek bed, I could just see her stretching out there. And it's about the first dip of the year. So for us, that's very, very special. For me, specifically, it's at a creek I love. So this is kind of for anyone who loves to take a first dip, and we like to do it on May Day, which is May 1st.
Well,
so sometimes
excellent.
cold, sometimes not cold.
This one has a cool video, too.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, this one has a video. We actually, we recorded it in April, so we actually jumped earlier than anticipated because we wanted to release
cooler,
it.
Right?
Yeah, we wanted to release
thrilling.
it on May 1st. Yeah.
Well, outstanding. So we have a very special presentation with them lasses live in the studio. So this one's called First Dip. Let's give it up.
I kick my shoes off, I'm dancing down this holler we will go. I got a special place not many people know. It's May Day in the creek now. Oh, that water, she is cold, so cold. So count to 3 and jump on in. Hold your breath and take a dive. This water may be steeped in sin, but soon you'll feel alive.
tear to my eye.
Don't cry.
So count to 3 and jump on in.
Hold your breath and take a dive. This water may be steeped in sin, but soon you'll feel alive. And when I'm feeling weary and want to rest my head, no better place to stretch out than in my old creek bed. It's spring, don't get it quickly, Lord, I'm gonna see red, bright red. So count to 3 and jump on in. Hold your breath and take a dive. This water may be steeped in sin, but soon you'll feel alive. I kick my shoes off, I'm dancing. Down this holler we will go. I got a special place not many people know. It's Mayday in the creek now. Oh, that one, she is cold. So cold. So count to 3 and jump on in. Hold your breath and take a dive. This water may be steeped in sin, but soon you'll feel alive. Just count to 3 and jump on in. Hold your breath and take a dive. This water may be steeped in sin, but soon you'll feel alive.
That was Them Lasses with First Dip. And let me just kind of open the door now to those old dogs, if that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
They
wanna
not
get in
only
the house.
they not only play on this album, but they all have a special role in your story, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
So who wants to go first?
Um,
Well, Abby, you pick somebody because you're the quiet one, and I picked on you first. So
Wait, so I pick who goes first?
yeah,
An old,
Well, let's start with Colin.
okay.
We'll talk about Colin as our old dog. So Colin Wallace, he is our bass player. He's been a bass player for decades now, and he's also just such a genuine, sweet person. And he's actually the link that tied all of us together when we met at his open mic that he was running that Abby runs now. So, but he is just... he's our number one fan. There's a lot of people that say they're our number one fan, but Colin is like there day in, day out supporting us every time we have a show. And he loves Them Lasses and the Old Dogs. Like, I'll come downstairs and find him on the porch watching our videos, like with tears in his eyes sometimes, because it touches him so much, and he's so proud of us, and you can tell that he's like very emotionally invested in the band. And he really wanted to add ideas to Old Dog and to Blues Ballad, to another song that's on the album, Blues Ballad, just because he loves them so much.
Well, that's excellent. And I will just say that we've had the pleasure of having Colin in our home several times. BE, that's before Aaron, for everybody that doesn't know. Where he brings his bass over. And I think most notably during one of our Christmas get-togethers, of course, this was back before COVID, which we used to do often. So we've always been so happy to have him. You always got to have your bass player, right?
Yeah. He's our number one sweetheart. When we were recording the album, our producers said, like, Colin, you take a bass line that could be so simple and you make it so fun.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm going to have to pull out some of my old film from some of those examples as well. So, Brittany?
I guess I am responsible for talking about Brandon Uhrig. I love him. We've been together for nearly 20 years, and he's one of the reasons I started playing music. He actually ran the open mic with Colin, so it was both of them that would run it weekly. So it was nice. That's how I got to meet Abby. Like, whenever she was fresh and 16, like, because I saw her when she first started coming to open mics. But Brandon is our fabulous electric guitar player. I don't know. I love all the things that he added. There's so many different things that, like, he did on the album that specifically, like, ring out to me. Like, on Abby's song Forget About Me, like, he has this really cool bendy thing that he does, and then but then can go from that to like Old Dog, where it's a very much a country guitar lead, and I think he's just like, he really crushed it. And
he's so versatile.
Yes.
he is very versatile in how he plays, and he plays well with others, which is a good habit for a dog, I think, to have. You know, you want to let him run free
good
with
habit
other
for
dogs.
musicians too.
And then you can talk about
I'll talk about Ryan.
Okay.
So, you know, in our band, Aaron and Colin are together, and Brittany and Randon are together, and then there's just me and Ryan.
They're both married to different people.
Yeah. Which my husband actually does have a cameo on the album, so
Yes.
Oh, nice.
you all should look out for that. But so Ryan started coming to the same open mic. At one point, we used to have drums at the open mic. We kind of don't anymore. There was a lot of noise complaints, so. So he would come and just kind of drum with everyone, and he really like syncs with people really well, like in the style that the way he drums. I don't know what the verbiage is for that.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's very easygoing personality-wise and also as a musician and a drummer.
Yeah. So when we were kind of looking for a drummer, Ryan was like, well, you know, if you ever need one, come to me. And we were like, okay. And so we had him come play for us at, I guess, Moonshiners Ball last year.
He
Was the first
brought
night.
his drum kit to our house where we practice.
Yeah.
He was just like, hey, I might play sometimes and I got an extra kit. I could just leave it here and then every time I play, I can come over.
Good strategy.
And we're like, yeah. And they're like, well, I guess we got a drummer.
Yeah.
And it's cool because we love Ryan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been awesome.
I will specifically say my favorite thing about Ryan is, like, I make a joke, and it's kind of a joke, kind of not a joke, but I'm like, he's my favorite member of the band because he's so easygoing. And
Yeah.
he takes like, I don't know, he takes feedback so well. He's positive. He's always comes with a great attitude. Like, he's just so sweet.
Yeah.
He was the one old dog that listened
He was the one that
clearly
listened,
to
yes.
direction during the videos.
Yes. Wins tons of points for
Levels of training, right?
And that's something else that I really appreciate about Ryan is none of us play the drums.
Yeah.
And so it's like, we don't really know what terms to use when we're trying to explain what we want something to sound like.
Yeah.
And so we can just look at Ryan and kind of be like, I want it to be like, da-da-da-da-da, and he'll know exactly what you're trying to explain to him.
Or-
He's like, oh yeah, I got this.
Or while you're playing, he'll be like, I'm going to go through like 4 different things. Just tell me kind of what you were like.
Oh,
vibing
how
on,
wonderful.
Which is so nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's a collaboration, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And this is a great collaboration, too. And we're going to get to hear a block of songs. This is the part where we call the block party. And we're going to hear a block of songs as we continue to feature the new album release of Them Lasses and the Old Dogs. And let's talk about Little Chickie, Blues Ballad, and Forget About Me. Set these 3 songs up for our listeners as we go into our first segment of the block party.
I will start with the first 2 because they're songs that I wrote that both I wrote them years before I met Them Lasses, and both Little Chickie and Blues Ballad were songs that I thought were just ridiculous. That was fun, but I was never going to take it seriously as a serious song. And then I joined this ridiculous crew of lasses and we're singing about dogs and tomatoes. And so Little Chickie was one of the very first ones that we thought of, an original of mine that I thought we could work up with the ladies because I knew it had different layers. When I first recorded it, I had like a 4-track recorder on my phone and I had added all those layers, but that's not anything I could have ever performed by myself. And Brittany actually wrote the 3rd verse. Didn't you write?
I
You
did
wrote the
write
3rd
the third
verse. And then we had Abby take the 2nd. And it's ridiculous. It's meant to be ridiculous.
We have a great video idea for that, too.
So both of those songs are also about my farm animals. The Little Chickie was about a little bantam chicken blowing in the breeze, and Blues Ballad is about my dog Blue. He is the sweetest boy. And I like to write songs at night for a long time. You know, every night after 9 p.m., everything else is done for the day. The dishes are done. You know, everyone's gone to bed. I like to sit down with my guitar, light a candle, sit on the porch. This was winter, so Blue is down at my feet. And he loves to look up. He loves to sit at your feet and look up at you and just kind of be like, yeah, you can keep playing the guitar. He also has a voice, so he talks. And I say Blue wrote Blues Ballad because it really felt like I was just channeling what he would want to sing about and how he would play the guitar and how he would speak, which is his singing voice is different than his talking voice. You can hear he's got a little Spanish influence in this song.
And who wrote Forget About Me? I'm sorry.
I did. That
Okay,
was
Abby.
I think that was the third song that I wrote, but it was the first of my originals that I ever played out anywhere. There's a lot of different angles I could take on talking about Forget About Me. But I, during college, during the week, I would live at my grandma's house because she lived closer to campus. And at one point, my aunt was staying with her too, and I was just kind of like playing around, and I played the song for my Aunt Jay, and she was like, "That was really good. You have to play it somewhere." And I was like, "No, I'm not doing that." And one day she was out on a walk, and she kind of dragged me with her down to a bar in Winchester, and she was like, "You have to play that song." And Randon and Brittany were there, and Colin was there too. And because she called me out, they pulled me in, and they were like, "Well, now we know about it. You have to play it." So I played it, and it was really fun. And actually, I think Randon played electric guitar on it that night too. I was like, "I'll give you a little break," and it was awesome. And it got a lot of good feedback and kind of helped me like get over that barrier of like playing your first original song out. But it was really cool, and that one's really special to me. Thinking Mountain Song is the other song that I wrote that's on the album, and it's a little more poetic. It was kind of written over a long span of time, and it's written about like, a specific place, but it kind of has bits and pieces of the same story that ties into Forget About Me. They're both about the same ex-boyfriend. But him and I were kind of on and off for a while, and when I was done, he still wasn't, and so that's kind of what channeled Forget About Me. And there's a lot I could keep talking about that song. I don't know.
That song evolved so much in the studio.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was
it was
gonna
like from Abby singing it solo to what it has become as you listen, but you love it.
I do. It's exactly what I wanted it to be and more. I've always thought of my music. I've always felt like I would end up falling into a more like retro folk kind of category. And once we got in the studio and started playing around, and it was Colin's bass line that changed everything. Actually, it was still kind of sounding a little acoustic-ish, and we were like, it needs something. And our producer, I think Colin's the one that...
It was Cam Clark. So our producer, our record is co-produced by Cam Clark and Seth Murphy. And Cam spent so much time at the computer, and he's actually the one that said, you know what, let's make the bass line drive to this song.
Yeah, he was
and
like, it needs something
this.
funky.
And he tried and he had him actually try the very specific bass line. So that one was one that we really worked closely with our producer on.
Yeah. And it changed everything. From that point on, we were like, oh, let's add this, and let's add this, and let's add this. And
it's really funny, too. Like, I will say, it's so interesting to see people, now that it's definitely been produced in a way that Abby, I think, is super proud of, but to see people listen to it live, like we did the Festival of the Muse, and like there was this nice group of older women who, what did they say? They were like...
She came down after the show, and she said, I felt like my hips were reawakened for something that I felt in the 70s. I felt it again.
Oh, wonderful.
And we could see that happening live, because we saw her dance.
She was like...
And we're like, oh yeah, we know exactly what song that was and how that happened, and it was Forget About Me.
Yeah.
Well, I talked to Brando Van Schoik just this morning, and he had some really high praise for you all.
Oh, cool.
So I just wanted to send that to your way.
Yes,
and we're going to hear next Little Chickie, blues ballad, and Forget About Me. Here it is, folks.
Little chickie in the breeze, little chickie in the breeze, little chickie in the breeze, little chickie in the breeze. Oh, there walked a little chickie, she was young and fair and pretty. When she walked into the city, she sang a little ditty, chickie.
Chickie thought the city would be so hip and nifty, but she soon found it was gritty and not for itty bitty chickie.
And now our little chickie has had her fill
You play guitar and I will sleep, and I will dream about the day when you will never go away. I'm a romantic, yes, you see how it would be just you and me. I will do everything you wish. I'll even help you lick that dish, please. I'm a romantic, yes, you see. I'll be your loyal devotee. But if my water bowl runs dry, I will look deep into your eyes. Ay, 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 your feet. You play guitar and I will sleep, and you can sing me lullabies. And if you leave, I'll surely cry. So please caress me as I sleep, for I am yours eternally. Please know I'm nothing without you. That's why they call me blue, blue,
I like the way you understood. You made me feel so good. But time keeps on changing, like the way you change your mind. Go back to the
Everyone, that was Them Lasses and the Old Dogs with Little Chickie, Blues Ballad, and Forget About Me on Overtones Live today in one of our famous album release radio shows featuring an all-star cast of amazing musicians all working in concert together to bring Kentucky and beyond Kentucky music fans a beautiful and well-crafted piece of musical art. Thank you again for being with us here today.
Let's give it up.
Yeah. And Abby, I just want to piggyback on something you said about the X. When Brando actually and I were at Josie Music Awards just 2 nights ago, it was really interesting because as people started to come to the stage, and of course they give their thanks and everything, we started to see a real string of musicians because one was courageous enough, I think, to thank their ex for the Song of the Year award that they won. And it just really brought to mind. And then it seemed like everybody was thanking their ex. And I just turned to myself, I think I see a theme here. But, you know, this is where it's not a bad thing, right? Because, you know, every experience in life brings us something really good, even though it may be a past experience. But I just looked at the number of Song of the Year winners that all thanked their ex for their song that won. And, you know, hey, glass is half full, right? At all times. But I love that. So thank you for sharing that with us. We're going to next get to hear another live in the studio performance, everyone. And next up, the Lasses are going to sing Thinking, which is called Mountain Song in parentheses and Sweet Mountain Music. Tell us about these 2 songs and who were they written by and what do you love most about performing these 2 songs live? And it looks like they're looking over here at you, Abby.
Yeah. So, Thinking, Mountain Song. So the reason for the title, I feel like I have to, I don't have to explain, but I'm going to. I tend to not name my songs, so for a while I just called it Mountain Song. And then when we were going to record it, I kind of decided that it deserved, like, an actual title. But everyone already kind of knew it as Mountain Song. So I decided to name it Thinking, but in parentheses, Mountain Song, just so people know which song it is.
Oh, fantastic.
But as I mentioned earlier, it is about the same person that Forget About Me is about. But it's
we were
also,
just talking about those exes, folks.
But it's also about a very specific place in Clay City called Pilot Knob. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I am not.
Maybe some of the listeners are. It's honestly my favorite view in the entire state of Kentucky. It's just a beautiful high point. You can just see everything. The legend says that that's where Daniel Boone stood when he said, "This is Kentucky." So that's always been a very special place to me. That's where I go when I need to think. It's where I go when I need cardio workout. It's just kind of everything. And so I kind of wrote Thinking Mountain Song at that place. It was like every time I hiked it, I kind of had more words come to my head, and I tend to not sit down and write full songs. I kind of write little chunks, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, all these pieces fit together. So that's kind of what happened with Mountain Song. And I didn't realize that it actually walked through all 4 seasons until I played it for my cousin one day, and he was like, it talks about all 4 seasons, like it comes full circle at the end. And I was like, oh, isn't that really cool that it, you know, life comes full circle, the song comes full circle. So I've started introducing it as my song about the ever-changing seasons of life. And it can be about whatever you want it to be about. It's, you know, it's one of those kinds of songs. But I also chose to end it on an unresolved key, which throws people off sometimes. But sometimes things in life don't get resolved the way we want them to. And so I decided to not resolve the song the way people would usually want it to.
That's a classical musician and you coming, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it is the first song that I ever wrote by myself.
Is that right?
Yeah, I wrote a song before it, but it was a co-write, and so it's the first full song I ever wrote.
Excellent. And then Sweet Mountain Music?
Sweet Mountain Music is mine. This is Erin. Sweet Mountain Music is a song that just kind of popped right out of me. So I used to write songs all the time, but recently, the past few years, I haven't had as much time alone to just sit and reflect, but I dog sit, and every time I go and dog sit, I feel like I have just this time where I have to be over there. And so, and it had been a while since I wrote a song. I was just sitting in the living room, and I said, okay, Erin, do we have a song to write? And I pretty much just played Sweet Mountain Music. It's not about one place in particular, kind of like Abby's is about a particular mountain. Brittany's First Dip is about a particular creek. This is just about the healing power of nature. All the rivers, all of the creeks, all of the mountains. So we did film the music video 2 different places. We filmed one part at the base of Pilot Knob and the other part at the Kentucky River. And I absolutely love the video that came out of that.
That's
Brittany
awesome.
did a really good job of that. And the Kentucky River does feel like it holds that sweet mountain
It
music.
feels powerful.
Yeah.
It's big and powerful like that song.
And then the first time I played it with the ladies, they came up with their part, and we've been doing it ever since.
Well, that's outstanding. I just love hearing all these stories. Thank you so much. So we've got we've got mountain song and mountain music.
Yeah.
So, this is a great block coming up. So let's give it up for them lasses.
The trees they blow in the wind. Summer's falling again. The sunny days fade away, but in this place joy will stay. Seasons come, seasons change. The storm rolls in and rolls away, but I return to the place that dries the tears right off my face. And I think of choosing you. I hope you'll choose me too. I think of loving you. I hope you'll love me too. Now the warmth fades away, and the calm leaves, or so you say. But in the dark I walk for miles to see the view that makes me smile. The trees they change from brown to green as we walk, just you and me. The sun it sets beyond the hill. We let our hearts begin to fill, and I think of loving you. I know you love me too. I think of choosing you. I hope you'll choose me too. Walk along in the dark, we begin to fall apart. It's hard to say, but we both know that we need the space to grow. And I think of loving you. I feel you love me too. I think of leaving you. I know you're thinking too. The trees they've changed, it's summertime. My joy becomes a state of mind. It's hard to feel, I understand, but the choice we made goes hand in hand.
I went down to the river to wash my hands and watch it like a sculpture carve the land. I went down to the river to wash my hands and let that water make me a new man. Oh, that cold mountain water, cold mountain water, cold mountain water, cleanse my soul. Cold mountain water, cold mountain water, cold mountain water.
cleanse my soul. I lay down by the river onto the earth. It's held me strong and steady since my birth. I lay down by the river, lay down onto the earth. Just you and me need to know my worth. And that cold mountain water, cold mountain water, cold mountain water, cleanse my soul. Cold mountain water, cold mountain water, cold mountain water, cleanse my soul. Then I climbed up a mountain to see what I'd find, taking all around me with my eyes. Yeah, I climbed up a mountain, I climbed up real high to feel that warm and burning in my thighs, and taking that sweet mountain music, sweet mountain music, sweet mountain music, cleanse my soul. Sweet mountain music, sweet mountain music, sweet mountain music, cleanse my soul. And I started a fire to gather around, to share my story's journey through my sound. Yeah, I started a fire and we gathered around to sing this song together. It's the sound of that sweet mountain music, sweet mountain music, sweet mountain music, cleanse my soul. Sweet mountain music, sweet mountain music, sweet mountain music, cleanse my soul. I went down to the river, down to the river,
Down to the river,
onto the earth, onto the earth.
onto the earth.
Then I climbed up a mountain,
Climbed up a mountain.
and I started a fire.
That was Them Lasses, folks, live in the Radio Lex studio today on Overtones Live. And so on side A, I saw that you have Them Lasses. On side B, you have the Old Dogs. So do they come into the picture after so many songs, or how
Yeah.
does that work?
So I think
Talk to us about the structure and the design, because I have a feeling you all put a lot of thought into this.
there's definitely, and I'll let all of us touch on this, but it's really cool. I think we all kind of wanted to honor how we started, which was as a 3-piece lady duo, and we love what we do there. It's very folksy, it's very yellow, it's very chickens, it's very skillets, it's happiness, right? And then that gets translated to the Old Dogs, but then there's like a soul that gets like injected, I think, whenever they join us. Like, so the first half is just us, and then they have a little sneak appearance on Fire and Song.
It's not a sneak appearance. They all play the whole time, and they kill it in that song. And Randon plays a mean acoustic guitar, even though he is an electric guitar player.
Yeah.
He is a great acoustic guitar player if forced.
It's true. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's kind of, I think how it was laid out is kind of like our journey. And I know like we all put a lot of thought into the order. Erin's kind of the mastermind of our sets, so I would say she probably took main lead on this.
When we first thought about coming up with an album, I just kind of made a list of the songs in an order, and it's not that. It has changed. There's songs that we wanted to put that didn't get put. There's some songs that got moved around. But for the most part, that's the general layout, which is kind of introducing, starting, and it follows the evolution of Them Lasses, like
Yeah.
you were saying. We started as a trio. We start every set with You Are My Sunshine. We wanted to start our debut record with You Are My Sunshine.
Oh,
So-
excellent. Well, I love all of this.
Cool.
And it's just interesting that you mentioned the order of the songs. I don't know. You listened to the Cody Lee Meese
Yeah,
album release.
I did.
And, I had these big plans about just asking, like, what went behind the order of your songs? And,
Yeah.
they're just sitting there just philosophizing and all of that stuff. And he said it really just kind of came down to they were in alphabetical
I
order.
heard that.
I
was
heard that.
cracking up.
And I'm
at
like,
that.
I love this. And it just seemed to work, right?
Yeah.
So next up, we're going to hear, I believe, Grateful.
Okay.
So who wrote that? Brittany, did you write that one? Talk to us
did.
about Grateful.
So Grateful, how old is Grateful now? A little over a year and a half?
Year.
Year. So I wrote Grateful last year, and I don't know, we've actually got to participate in Holler Girl all 3 years that it's happened. And last year, Aaron's mom, MK, kind of led like this nice yoga session on top of the stage. And at first, I was like sitting in the sunshine, like in the rocks, because it was so full on stage. So I was sitting there, and then she started it with this kind of like gratitude thing. So like, close your eyes, think about everything that's happening today, think about everything that you're like really grateful for. And I sat there and I thought about it, and like tears welled up. I was so happy to be there. I was so happy to feel everything. And then I don't know, I just started to really think about like, gosh, I'm super blessed with so many things happening in my life. Like, what are these things? And then I listed them out, and now that's that song. But if it was not for Aaron's mom, that song definitely wouldn't have existed.
Great stories, folks. We're going to hear Grateful, and I believe we've got You Are My Sunshine coming up, too. So let me ask, everybody knows You Are My Sunshine, but what's your connection emotionally and spiritually, holistically with that song? Because you have a really great version of that.
Thank you.
Well, Them Lasses is the sunflower,
Right.
and that's kind of become our mission, right? Like, at first we just thought it'd be a logo. It's something that we all like. We liked it visually. It's become kind of our identity and our purpose moving forward, to grow and to shine. And so I think the sun, You Are My Sunshine, we just learned Walking on Sunshine. I feel like all those very solar, warming energy songs kind of embodies who we are.
Yeah, 100%.
And we love the classic, and we like things that touch people's hearts. And I think so many people we've learned have such an emotional attachment to that song. Like, oh, my grandma sang me that.
Yes.
And like a lot of little kids so it's like old and young alike. And we kind of like Them Lasses to reach all across the board. And that song seems to be one that ties like all the generations together.
Yeah, I really like it too. It's nice to start your set with something that everyone knows and loves and can sing along. And if they hear that, like, they know we're probably playing. And I feel like that gets them kind of moving a little bit, which is nice too.
And isn't there something just wonderful about communal singing?
Yes.
And just the invitation to ask people to participate in that, and they can resonate. And, since you all mentioned this too, I just have to mention that I'm just so impressed with your ability to articulate your mission, and to articulate that you have to have one, right? And you mentioned the word purpose, and a lot of like what I'm writing a book right now called Working in Concert, which talks about how important it is for musicians to be able to not only know what that mission or vision is, but to be able to have your elevator speech, because you just nailed exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to have to include your story in this book, because that's the, working in concert to me says, the working is the business part and the concert's the music part. So what we want to try to do is be able to do that. And you mentioned, You Are My Sunshine. For me, it's row, row, row your boat.
Oh.
And I really think like the words, row, row, row your boat, that says basically I'm responsible for rowing my own boat. And you do that gently down the stream, which means that you are happy, right? And that you don't let stress get to you. Merrily, merrily, merrily doesn't need to have any explanation, but life is but a dream.
Yes.
And, I just wish people would tap into those old songs just like you have, right? And really creating a meaning for your whole vision and your purpose and your mission around what you do.
And it's been actually really interesting. I think from the very beginning, like, even though like I think we kind of fell into this mission, it's been really wonderful. At the very beginning, we were like, how do we want people to leave our show feeling? And I don't think everyone necessarily thinks about your end goal for like what you're wanting to create, it's like, oh, I'm going to put this out here. But I think it was very important for us to like know how we wanted the people who listen to us to like end with how they're feeling.
We want to create an experience.
Yeah.
And then also a visual show, and Brittany's been bringing that forward the entire time that we've been a band, is that we have a purpose, but we also want people to be entertained and have a great time and meet each other. So we also, if you come to Them Lasses show, we will give you a flower.
You will get a flower.
Oh, excellent. I love that. You all are the marketing queens. I just love this.
Oh, what? Sunflower and dogs? People like that?
Seriously? Oh, yeah, exactly. Nobody can relate to that, can they? Well, let's just give you all another round of applause as we go into this next block party.
Grateful for the love, for this gracious love we have received. this gracious love we have received. Grateful for our friends who have climbed on up our family tree. And we're grateful, so grateful. We are grateful for you and us three. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamt I held you in my arms. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken. So I hung my head and I cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away. A one, a two, a three. I'll always love you and make you happy if you can only stay the same. And if you leave me to love another, you'll regret it all someday. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
You told me once, dear, you really loved me, and no one else could come between. But now you've left me to love another, and you've shattered all my dreams.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away.
That was Them Lasses and the Old Dogs, and thank you all for coming into the studio today as we start to round third and head for home, as they say in baseball. We are so happy that you've accomplished this thing called an album release, which is, a success in itself. When you get out to perform, people always, want to have something to take with them. And be it a physical copy or just a way to stream, whatever that is. I'm seeing a big movement to put CDs back into cars, by the way, which I love
Great.
that idea. But where can we find and locate your music?
So we are going to be having an album release party on the 16th of November at Al's Bar here in downtown Lexington. And then we're also having a preview listening party in Irvine on November 8th. So
At
we
Holla
will do
Holler.
the entire
Oh, yes.
album live
That's fantastic.
there at Holla Holler, and so that'll be a listening room experience. You can experience the entire album. Anytime
Yeah.
that you can see us live, you can get merch from us. After the album release, you'll be able to get CDs. We have vinyl, we have T-shirts. Brittany even ordered some album art tapestries
Yeah.
that
Oh,
we're
yeah.
really
They're
excited
They're
about.
so cool.
I definitely want to make sure that I call out Kinsey Williams. She did a fabulous job on our album. They basically captured every song that's on there visually. So if you look at it, it's like a roadmap of our album. So we're very, very proud of that. And then Daniel Stroud did our amazing logo.
Yeah.
So we're
Oh,
very
my
in love with that
goodness.
too. So-
And then our music will be available on all streaming platforms on November 15th, streaming everywhere, and then on YouTube as well.
Well, we're going to be counting down the days.
Listen to it loud, guys.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So we're going to close the show as our exit song will be Fire and Song.
Right?
And that's, again, by Them Lasses and the Old Dogs. And again, they have a new album release, and we're looking forward to second, third, fourth, and beyond album releases with this amazing musical group.
Yeah, we would love to invite you to visit themlasses.com and check out what we have available there.
And Abby, how do we spell that?
That is THEMLASSES.com.
We're just so happy you've chosen to be with us this afternoon. And this sadly seems like a great place to end this edition of Overtones Live, coming to you this evening from Radio Lex Studios from Gray Line Station in Lexington, Kentucky, singing Between the Lines with Them Lasses. And thank you all so much for working in concert with us to make this wonderful show happen. And of course, all of you in our listening audience, thanks for making a choice to listen locally this evening. As we close the show today, after Fire and Song, you're going to hear the Goodwin Brothers performing their award-winning song, Everyday Thing. And we hope that in going forward with your listening experience, you will make Them Lasses, the Goodwin Brothers, and Overtones Live your everyday thing. And until next week, this is Renee Cobb. We're working in concert each and every week to bring you the best this great state of Kentucky has to offer music fans, reminding you that where words fail, music always speaks. Music is speaking to us today, folks. Have a great week filled with music, family, friends, and a lot of love. Listen locally, everyone.
close to home. So far, yet oh so close to home. So far, yet oh so close to home.
Some people start off with a big romance, a black tie wedding and a fancy dance. Then it's off to an island in the deep blue sea. They get back home thinking that's how love should be. We got married in a country chapel, drove away to beat up car, bought a little house in our hometown and settled down where we are. Our love is an everyday thing, taking each day as it comes, making it grow like a sweet red rose through the rain and sun. It's so simple how we stay together, solid as a diamond ring. Our love is an everyday thing. It's a country band on a Friday night, a two-step dancing underneath the neon light. When they close the doors, we head on down, truck stop breakfast at the edge of town. There's a lot to do in this big old world, lots of places we could go. We're too busy doing what we want right here close to home. Our love is an everyday thing, taking each day as it comes, making it grow like a sweet red rose through the rain and sun. It's so simple how we stay together, solid as a diamond ring. Our love is an everyday thing. Our love is an everyday thing, taking each day as it comes, making it grow like a sweet red rose through the rain and sun. It's so simple how we stay together, solid as a diamond ring. Our love is an everyday thing. Our love is an everyday thing.
The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamt I held you in my arms. When I woke, dear, I was mistaken, so I hung my head and I cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away. 1, 2, 3.